Nervous. This is our destiny, chat. This is our destiny. Make sure to subscribe or 10 seconds, I am nervous. Shit, man.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like many of you, I've been playing games as long as I can remember. They're a core part of what makes me who I am. I believe there's this deeply rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep adventure alive. In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure. Heroes awakened on a desolate planet. A silent god set in our sky. And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy, shrouded in darkness, showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years, our heroes would shape a story far greater than anything we could have imagined. Players would explore deep into the depths of Venus, hunting a machine god that controlled time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their paracausal abilities to stand alone against monsters that took others, an entire elite squad. They'd race alongside their friends far into the early morning in the halls of an ancient city where only a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. But most importantly, they'd bring their friends and their family into this world and together meet new faces on this adventure who would become lifelong companions. Now, together, we approach the final shape.
I'm nervous.
We're about to embark on the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world, a vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open. So today is your invitation to go forth and adventure.
Isn't it how it all started?
After all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back. Why you were chosen.
Because we're special. And we didn't question you. And we didn't question the Traveler.
The truth is, I didn't know then. It was just a feeling. But I know now. After all we've seen, all we've lost.
What the fuck was that? Hey, what was it with the hands?
Be our last. So I'm asking you one last time to rise.
Een ex? Wird kalt! Okay, you got me. I'm hyped.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history.
What
We've
the
been
hell?
building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that, as a developer, you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that like makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
When we were resurrected by Ghost at the very beginning of this story, we didn't know why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the Witness intends to do.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
Inside is the pale heart of the Traveler. That is the stage for our showdown with the Witness.
The Witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The pale heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The Witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose.
What
no
the
meaning.
hell,
It wants to
man?
fix all that.
Why does it
So
remind me of
it's
Attack on
trying to put
Titan,
the
man?
universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of Oblivion.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our Ghost, get to reconnect with Cade 6. So, like, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
Look, we're
In the final
going
shape,
back to the
we're
old
going through
tower.
the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape. Inside the Traveler is this infinite, vast, unknowable, and we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
The Pale Heart is weird. It's a little strange, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, and it is also just so cool and artistic in the best way.
The music hypes me up, man. You know this classic music?
And so it's time to kind of shape what's
That
there.
makes it additionally
Whenever Arena
disturbing.
enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
One of the most memorable locales from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower. It's really a labor of love from the Destiny team. The final shape means so much to everyone who's building it, and I think players are really going to be able to see that.
The Pale Heart is our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and feel it escalate in danger, in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in
Yeah.
the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny
Minecraft.
as a guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the Witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the Subjugators.
What?
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape.
Minecraft enemies.
They have an enhanced power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the
What?
Guardian. Well, in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis.
Oh my god, I
abilities,
love their
throwing crystals
design.
at you,
They're
freezing
like
you in
Rulk,
place,
a little bit.
tangling you up.
A Minecraft Rulk. I like them.
We're focusing you on the campaign and only the campaign. It's the most important thing in the universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination. And so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't really end with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the
Yeah,
final
they
shape
showed
and
so
the
many different big areas. Right? It really feels gigantic,
In
man.
the final shape, we are inside the Traveler, very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
We want to create
So many new areas.
powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds. The Warlock Super is this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person super in Destiny right now. Your melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient
Butterflies.
as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one.
But
And you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also
That's really
giving it to
nice,
your
right?
allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying.
It's
scorch
like the
when they're
annoying
shooting.
moths
Solar
that the
Warlock
enemies
aspect, when
do.
I cast my rift,
You do
it is
butterflies
going to
like that.
create This little solar soul that when it sees an enemy, it launches part of itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive. Twilight Arsenal. It's a layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws
Ooh.
it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these
Okay,
axes
but
fly
this
through
is
the air, they
cool,
stick
right?
into the ground or an enemy.
A
do the
whole
void gravity
axe.
thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around, and you and your allies can go pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
This super is insane to me.
The Void
This
Titan
is
aspect, I press
insane.
and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
The Hunter Arc super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points.
Now the moment for us hunters.
Knife and throws it across the world, and then is able to blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that is not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The hunter has an aspect. We take our staff. We
So
throw it in the
3
air, which
times you
propels us
can
upward.
blink into
It
the
creates
enemies
this
like
burst,
that?
which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like...
That was
Wow.
good.
Exactly like that. Shoot, 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 shoot.
Weapons team has been working on all sorts of goodness. We've got
Wow, okay.
exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler Beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Kvastov into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath.
Yeah, Warlocks will still be 90% well.
In the final shape, we have new weapon subfamilies coming, broadening what existing weapons can be.
Really like bordering on exotic functionality. So for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support
Yeah,
frame
but how
auto
good
rifle
is that all in
a
endgame
type of legendary
content?
auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really excited to bring it to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
The weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few years, and some new and really wild ideas.
Next
which we're
few
pretty excited about.
years. So
Come on, take a load off. We've got a lot to cover.
doesn't sound like the end of Destiny.
This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so... I'm back!
I'm back!
Hey, you two, give me a sec. I was magnificent. This is great. Anyone want a hug? Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't. Well, better get back to it.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cade like return to this world at this moment with all this change about to culminate with this confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cade is the quintessential hunter. His presence casts such a long shadow over the story of Destiny, whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cade's role as a guide.
I hope they will tell us how he turned back to life.
Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just
That will
feels
be
so natural
interesting.
for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
In the flesh, or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group, I think is going to be great for them.
Well, at least we have each other.
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like the gang being back together for this moment.
I'm here now. Wherever the hell here is.
Unlocking the path.
Guardian, the Witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek. But only if we contend with her sister, Zivu Araf. It rests with me. Will you come back from this? Do not be afraid.
Bring me your tithes.
Excuse me?
You now wield hive magic and have entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian, and open the way to our tides.
What? Huh?
Let them know fear. The death of whispers, and they do whisper. Fight in my name, Guardian. Every opponent you defeat strengthens me.
I like the music. Holy shit.
My appetite rises for your brutal tributes.
Boom, 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 boom.
What it is to be Hive.
You have found the horn of battle! You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Did we see Crota there in the
Season
end?
of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and breaking high
Wasn't
spells,
that
and now we
Crota?
finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first. And that bigger problem's name is Zivu Araf. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really
good
It's
idea.
a wild ass idea, yeah. She determines like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
This is so crazy to me.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Ares. We wanted to extend that magical
Hive
fantasy into the player
Ares?
deck, ability
That
to
fits
have
her
overwhelming magical
perfectly.
power that
She
we're just gonna
always
reward
wanted
into
that.
all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led us to
Oh
come up with
my
things
god.
like Deck of Whispers. It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing
She is
synergies
such a
with your
hive.
Buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
You actually are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I'm such a sucker for deck building. Like being able to like bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, chess is
it's
really
super
fun.
So we've got 2 brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathun's Spire.
Savathun's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summoning's activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable. With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this.
I love this design. This Vex stuff always looks epic.
There's also some modes
It's so
We've
beautiful.
got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass. We've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we've got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're going to be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty hivey this season. Obviously, there's something in the air. And so when thinking about like, what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very hivey season, there's only one answer.
I have seen what the Hive call a god. Only a true weapon of the light can stop his wrath.
Crota. It is. Okay. But we will get the armor set with the ornaments. See that? Okay. Okay. Now we know it. All right.
Advancing the final shape, we really want to
It's
rally all
Crota.
guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers.
Doesn't matter how they change it, it will be boring.
Story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players.
Yeah, the armor set looks beautiful with the ornaments.
More simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able
Yeah,
to jump into
I was hoping as well, not Crota.
by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes that's going to be happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are
and was never a big fan of recycling content.
What power level you are going into it,
Never.
you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to
Yeah,
engage
that's what
with
they're
you.
doing.
So
Exactly
we're
that.
introducing something that we're calling
Root of Nightmares,
You can actually bring your
Crota.
friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person
King's
with the
Fall as
highest
well, to be
power in the
honest.
Fire team is actually going to bring all the others close
Vault
to
of
their
Glass,
power
they're
level,
all
which means that
simple.
There's no barriers really for any other guardian to join you in this high-level content.
When it's combined with Fireteam Finder, it also allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before.
They're making everything you gamer friendly.
Regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fireteam Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23, aimed at helping connect and find other people to complete the best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my playstyle. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here to have a good time. Exactly.
Tags really allows players to show a little bit more personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think what's really great about it is with this launch, we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo and especially
Yeah, in-game group finder is totally good.
helping reduce that
I like that.
anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection. The feature coming out today that I'm incredibly excited about is Timeline Reflections. Essentially what we have done is we've went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key narrative beats within our story. We are going to have a mission for Forsaken, mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken. This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless of their power level.
All ends are
This
beginnings.
10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes. And the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the final shape.
Okay.
And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the final shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story
Act
moments
1, 2,
in every
3.
single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic styled experiences throughout the final shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the
More
team
vault
with the platform
space.
to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the final shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
What makes a guardian a guardian? Devotion, bravery, sacrifice. We know that we were chosen for a reason, by something greater than ourselves.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead.
It is a little bit sad to hear his voice right now.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
Our purpose is its end. This time, there is no escape.
It's going to be an exciting year for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made.
Batspot, stop trolling! Hey, Quiddy! What's up?
System, and at the end, a simple message. Become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're going to be heading inside the Traveler.
Man, they should tell us more about the future. That was all...
anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system.
Yeah, it's so important to see every little cutscene of this.
And as the dust settles,
If they show something important, like you really can't look away. You have to soak everything in.
Guardians with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes
This is so important.
But
This
if you're chomping at the
showcase.
bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of
Yeah,
Destiny 2.
yeah.
We've got a ton of great content.
Yeah, they
for you to
only
jump
said
into. Going live
new
after
model,
this,
that's it.
we've got Season of the
And
Witch
more
with a
Destiny.
new story new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content.
He confirmed it
I
again.
can't wait to see you all in the throne world as
Ah.
we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
Ooh, cutscene? Will they show us more?
Do not be afraid. Bring me your tithes.
After all these years, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise one last time.
My thoughts about the showcase, and sorry in advance if I sound a little bit sick, I have a cold. In the showcase they were holding back and wanted to be more mysterious, which is okay. They said the roles will change, which reminds me a little bit of Remnant 2. I'm excited to see how that will be in Destiny 2. What wasn't good is that they didn't show the new Dark subclass. Everyone was waiting for that, because they announced it in Beyond Light that they will bring out all 3 Light and Dark subclasses until the Light and Dark saga. Instead, they showed us now the new Light subclasses, but they should have just surprised us with it in-game, in my opinion. Now, my wish for the future is that they play classic music during Rulk's boss fights for the additional disturbance and uncomfortable feeling. That would be so awesome. And please, Bungie, I want to rename my Bungie name, but I can't. I will throw money at you, just let me change that. Overall, I'm hyped up again and excited to check out the new season. And I pre-ordered Final Shape. If you like this, make sure to like and subscribe and check out my Twitch channel.